Hello everyone, I am Nitin Reddy from EC. My topic is law of demand. Law of demand. There is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Quantity demanded rises as price falls, other things constant. Quantity demanded falls as prices increase, other things are constant. What accounts for the law of demand? People tends to substitute for goods whose price has gone up. The law of demand states that other factors is being constant and price and quantity demand of any goods and services are inversely related to each other. When the price of a product increases, the law of demand for the same product will fall. The law of demand explains consumer choice behavior when the price changes. In the market, assuming other factors affecting demand being constant when the price of goods rises, it leads to a fall in the demand of cloth. This is the natural consumer choice behavior. This happens because a consumer hesitates to spend more for a good with the fear of going out of cash. The Evo diagram shows that demand curve which is downward sloping clearly when the price of the commodity increases from price P3 to P2. Then its quantity demand comes from Q2 to Q2 and then Q3 and vice versa. Individual demand. The individual demand is the demand of one individual or firm. It represents the quantity of a good that a single consumer could buy at a specific price point at a specific point in time. Market demand. Market demand is the aggregate of individual demands of a homogeneous commodity. A market demand curve is the horizontal sum of all individual demand curves. This is determined by adding the individual demand curves of all the demanders. Sellers estimate total market demand for the product, which becomes smooth and downward sloping curve. Market demand function. The market demand function is the horizontal summation of the individual's demand function. Exceptions of law of demand. Status symbol commodity, fear of storage, ignorance, speculations, and given goods. Factors affecting increase and decrease in demand. Change in fashion, change in taste, change in population, income of people, availability of substitutes, availability of complementary goods, advertisement, technical progress, change in real income. Types of demand. There are four types of demands. First one is joint demand, and second one is direct and derived demand. Third one is composite demand, and last one is competitive demand. Joint demand. Joint demand is when a product jointly demanded with some other products. We call it joint demand. It exists when two or more goods are required at the same time. Here we can see in this picture, the demand of fat increases when the demand of oil also increases. And we can see in this picture the usage of phone. We can use phone by inserting the SIM. Without inserting the SIM, we can't use the phone. Direct and derived demand. Demand for the final product or the ultimate objectives is called derived demand, whereas there is a derived demand for one commodity or services when it is wanted as a result of the demand for another commodity or services is called direct and derived demand. Composite demand. It's a total demand for a commodity which arises when it is required for different purpose and will be the sum of different demand. Competitive demand. When commodities are fairly close substitutes for one another and increase in the quantity demanded of one of them with reduce the demand for the other is called competitive demand. And four laws about the law of demand. First one is if the supply increases and demand stays the same and the price will be down. If the supply decreases and demand stays the same, the price will goes up. If the supply stays the same and demand increases, the price will go up. The fourth one is if the supply stays the same and demand decreases, the price will go down. And the exception to the law of demand, status symbol goods. The purchase of such costly items adds to a status of the purchaser, and in such a situation, the desirability of the goods is measured only by the price. The purchaser will only buy high-priced goods, example diamonds, Rolex watches, and BMW cars, etc. Thank you.